Hello, League of Thrones. Welcome to Goldsharts. As most of you know, every year I send an email describing why each and every one of you are either an asshole, why I don't like you, or why generally you're just a terrible person. Well, this year, we decided to put this into video. This is Goldsharts. As starting for a new tradition, I'm going to actually rate each of you as far as how I personally view you to be terrible. So it's going to be a top 13 list, leaving myself out. And on the bottom of the list are the Cat brothers. So I'll start with Danny, who I'm annoyed with least in the league. Danny, I don't like you because you're tall, okay? I don't like you because when you make videos and they're about why you don't like me, they always suck. And I don't like that you're a minor and that you're at these parties where minors don't belong, and then you're still kicking our ass in fantasy football. I'm going to call for you to be out of the league next year for violating many laws and generally pissing me off. Josh. It was really difficult to say why I disliked you, Josh, because you've made some huge improvements this year, not fantasy football wise, but in many other aspects, which I'll talk about. But Josh, the main reason I dislike you is that you're generally just uncomfortable to be around. You look unpleasant. It's hard to bring you into public. People think that you're crazy. You met me at my house one time, standing outside. My neighbors thought that I was being robbed or that pirates were taking over. So, try to clean up your act a little bit. You're a professional. You're in League of Thrones management now. Just come on, get with the picture. Zach. It was really hard for me to make a video about why I dislike you, Zach, also because when you make videos about why you dislike me, you always suck at it. It's so hard to say, we're in charge of the league, we're co-owners, but why I really dislike you is that you continue to hurt yourself in some weird drunken way which interrupts our filming. And you got me really sick. I thought I had Ebola. It was a whole mess. I'm not even going to go into it. So that rounds out the bottom three of my more likable people this year. Now that brings me into the next three. Weapon. I generally dislike you because you get drunk and black out and say some really strange things. But I do appreciate your efforts so far this year with our acting. You saved me from the basement. It's hard for me to say anything that bad about you. But the number one thing this year I dislike about you is that I think you're lying that you have a fiance. Nobody's seen this girl. She's never been anywhere. I've never met her. I'm engaged. You'd think we would have met each other or gone out or something. You told me we're going to meet sometime in October of next year last time we talked about it. So, come on, man. We gotta... Just come clean with the league. We know you're not married. You're not getting married. She doesn't exist. Just you're a single guy living in Las Vegas. There's nothing wrong with it. Next is Jake. It was also hard for me to say anything bad about Jake this year because he generally hasn't pissed me off too bad. But Jake, my number one pointer to you this year is you need to get a makeup artist for when we film stuff. You can't be on HD with no makeup, man. Next, I'm moving to Glyman. Glyman kind of starts the list of the people I really dislike this year. Glyman went to law school. Despite the fact that I told him it's a bad idea, that pissed me off. Glyman doesn't even live here anymore, yet he's involved in the league and winning. That always pisses me off. But the thing that pissed me off most this year about Glyman is that as much of a topic as he's been in conversation, he's hardly been involved. He's not texting on the group text. He needs to get it together. He needs to come up with some lines, maybe hire a comedy writer or something. All right, Glyman? All right, next. And we're on the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So number 7 is Kyle. Now, Kyle, it's obvious why anyone in the league would dislike you this year. You've been completely distant. You're not involved in the group text. You text one time, you say you're going to be involved, but you don't stay involved. You gave 12 hours notice to a party that nobody could come to because they had no notice. And then basically we just had to replace you with a guy we found on Craigslist. And so I would say that's my number one thing why I'm pissed off at you this year. I had to hire a guy from Craigslist to play you because you didn't come through. So you need to get it together. You need to get more involved. It's looking bad. Next is Kirsten. And it's been said by many people in the league that we may never hear from Kirsten again, which, I mean, I don't think we're that lucky that we'll never hear from her again. I think something's going to happen. I don't think that she's going to be with us next year, so she hasn't been involved. She hasn't been around. She was a blast at the draft. I hope that she'll be a blast at the pig roast, but my main thing about Kirsten is she's pretty much just out of the league by default, so I'm just going to almost skip her this year. Next is Brooks. Now, Brooks, I don't like you because you don't drive, you always sleep over and then need a ride. You're such a burden on everybody. But that's okay. That's not the reason I don't like you. The reason you don't drive and that you always need a ride from everyone is because of legal issues, and you never brought those legal issues to me. Maybe if you had come to me, I could have represented you. I would have charged you a good price, and you wouldn't be in the situation. You could be driving around, picking up girls around town. I don't know what you do, whatever you do. So, use your head, man. If you're gonna be a criminal, you're gonna break the law, then just use your head and come to me and I can help you out. All right, guys, we're in the top 4 now. Rounding out the top 4 was Kotek. Kotek, everyone is just generally annoyed with this thing that you've been doing. The program, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. But the number one thing I hate about you this year is that every time you film, you have your camera hanging from a tree or something. It's the weirdest angle. I don't know where you came up with that thing, but I mean, just hold your camera in front of your face and film. But you did have a great line. Yeah, you told me that, why can't I just be shit? That whole line, we all know it. You're gold, you're silver, why can't you just be shit? So you did redeem yourself. That was pretty funny this year, but I think you can make a way bigger impact next year if you get involved in this league and not some other bullshit group. All right, it's a big moment. We're in the top 3 here, you guys. The third person on the list who pissed me off the most was Steve. Oh my God, Steve. You quit the league, you're back. Why can't you just be shit, Steve? And then you try to get on the group text and say stuff, and everyone just ignores it because what the hell is it that you're even saying? It makes no sense. Either be in, be out, do something. You got to make a choice, or I have a feeling you may be a free agent next year also. All right, guys, the top 2. The number 2 person that pissed me off this year is Coach Lackey. Now, I invented Coach Lackey in this league, and Zach will attest to that. Zach was against it. I called for Coach Lackey to be in the league, and now he's in. And I never get any credit. Every time Coach references it, he says that Zach got him in the league. It was all Zach. So that pissed me off a lot. But the number one thing that pissed me off this year about Coach Lackey is he's a first-timer in the league. He's a virgin, and he just goes around trying to change the rules, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us why we're doing things are stupid. Coach, take it from a founding member. Sit back for a few years, watch it play out. It'll work. Trust that we know what we're doing, and we're going to keep things the same because the rules aren't going to change. That leaves only one more person. The number 1 person who really pissed me off this year is Bolin. Bolin, you're a real cocky asshole in your videos. My whole family notices it. But that's not what pisses me off. I don't care. What pisses me off about Bolin the most is that he tried to take the reins of the league Instagram and completely failed at it. In only a matter of a few days, Josh has completely surpassed anything that Bolin ever did on the Instagram. So look, I know you tried. I give you that. But you fucking failed. So don't expect to have any League of Drug Management ability in the future. You really have no chance. Well, guys, that wraps up my yearly rants about all of you. Goldsharts has been produced in the home of Jonathan Goldsmith, Winter Die Productions.